Here's some of the footage from this dash camera so you can see what it's like. I've tested several dash cams and this one is unique in several ways that I will get into with this video. The first being which the design, I think it looks kind of retro. I actually really like the design, but more especially I like the screen on the back for how large it is and also the fact that it is touchscreen. So it's very easy to navigate. Very large so you can see everything that's going on. This is a sponsored video, and before I go over my experience with this, I kind of want to show you the setup process so that you can see what the menu is like and you can get familiar with all of the settings for this. This is everything that comes with the package. So a few things to be aware of. For one, it does come with these electrostatic films. The way this works, and it has instructions on this, is you will put this on the windshield and then the mount with the nano or sticky tape, you put that on the electrostatic film. That way when you need to take this off, you take the film off and this comes off much easier. The GPS unit for this is one that you plug in, so you'll plug that in here. The power cable for this, many dash cams use USB-C. This has its own barrel plug for power, and then for the rear camera you will use this cable. It comes with a few things to help make installing the cord easier. And I have never seen this before, but it comes with a Wi-Fi Bluetooth dongle that you plug in like that. It should also be noted that it comes with a TF card, 128 gigabytes, and it does have an on-off switch on the side. And I am going to plug this into my portable power station so I can set this up here. This is a touch screen. You can either skip or go to quick or detailed settings. I'll go to detailed so you can see everything that's here. You can select your vehicle type, engine type. This is pretty interesting. It has this little lines to help you when you are in the car to adjust. And the date and time is actually accurate, not the right time zone, but that should change when I connect to GPS. For the SD card, you can specify how you want to allocate the space in it. So most of the space will be dedicated just for driving, but it will reserve some space for if you have like a bump or an accident, or for parking mode or a parking event. And we can change the priority depending on, we might want parking priority if we park this outside for work or something like that. Or you could do driving only. Well, I will stick with the default, and you can set your driving or parking modes. It does have a low voltage cutoff, so this means that if you are in parking mode and the battery goes below a certain level, it will turn off the power so you don't kill your battery. And while this reboots, I will plug in the Wi-Fi Bluetooth dongle. Here is the QR code for getting the app. And I do want to point out that this is a nice large screen. It shows what's going on, so we know what our battery level is, the time, our speed. We know that we are recording only one channel because I don't have the rear camera plugged in. But from the menu, we can play back the files that have been saved, and it is divided by event. So most of it you'll see is in driving. So we have the two events. We can go here and play back. We can check out the memory card. We can format or change priority. We can change the recording mode, and we can go to settings. The camera settings allow us to change the recording quality and the brightness for the rear camera. By default, for driving safety guidance, everything is on. So if we want to set this up, this is for your advanced driver assist setup. I'll just leave it on default. Here are the options for system settings, and we can change the Wi-Fi properties. When we open the app, we can add a dash cam. This is the LX4K. Looks like it found the dash cam already. And we connect with the verification code. With the app, we can do a live view. Hey, how's it going? We can view all of the files, and we can download or bookmark the files. We can do an event summary. We can check for updates. And the reason I use this the most is for the dash cam settings. So if you'd rather use your phone instead of the dash cam, you can come in here and you can go to, like, for example, system settings, and you can change whatever parameters you want to change here. As far as the things that make this unique from other dash cams that I've tried, for one, the cables are different. It comes with a barrel jack for power. Most dash cams come with USB-C. Also, it is fairly common for dash cams to have built-in Wi-Fi and built-in GPS. This one is more modular, where you plug in the GPS, you plug in the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth dongle, and whether you think that's good or bad is probably just a personal preference, just something for you to be aware of. But I think the main thing that makes this unique is how you can customize things very specifically. For example, with the parking mode and the time lapse, you can configure exactly how you want that to be done. I've never seen on any dash cam the ability for you to choose how you want to allocate space on the mini SD card. I think that's a great idea because people are going to have different use cases for why they might want this. For someone like me who always parks my car in the garage, I don't really care about parking mode, but I do care about driving, especially when I go on vacation or a long road trip. I want more space for that. I can make it so that's what all of the space goes towards. If you are someone who commutes to work, you park outside, and you care more about parking mode, then you would want to switch to that mode. I have not seen that on any other dash cam. I think that's a pretty nice feature, and just overall, the ability to specify exactly what settings you want. And even with the phone app, the fact that it has driving logs and things like that, you can configure everything on the app. You can view all the files. That is really quite nice. The built-in software is something else that makes this really unique. It has what they call pre-buffered event recording. Normally, if you get into an accident or something like that, your dash camera will move that file into a different folder. But sometimes you might have a problem with where it cuts off, because if each file is, say, 1 minute or 3 minutes, it might cut off at an important part. But with the pre-buffered event recording, what it does is if you get in an accident, instead of just starting at that moment and moving those files into the separate folder, it will go ahead and take the footage from before you get into an accident and move all of that video footage over into the folder. Another thing that is unique with this software is it has speed and red light alerts. And what that means is it has a database built in. It can alert you of known speed or red light cameras. I will continue to show you some more footage so you can see what this is like in different conditions. Let me just say that I feel like it's pretty imperative now that you have some sort of dash cam in your car. It's kind of crazy the reasons you might need a dash cam, whether it's people breaking in, getting in an accident, people trying to scam you somehow, or if you just need to record the audio for things going on. Dash cam will do all of that. If you don't already have a dash cam, you absolutely need to get one. This one is super simple to install. You just put on the electrostatic film, then you put the mount on that. You can use this tool to help put the wires and conceal them around your car or your truck or whatever, and that is basically it. You plug in the rear camera, plug in the GPS unit, and you are good to go. And then from that point, you don't really need to ever think about it. It just turns on and records every time you turn on the car. And honestly, I really do like the design. Kind of a nice retro feel. This is a cool dash cam.